Let's not get distracted. Expert predictions from ESPN.com. MVP, the vote getters from third to first. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Okay.
Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
The favorite to win this year's MVP. Duka Doncic.
Yeah, boy, do they want to give him the award, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
They do. They do want to. I'm going to go with Jokic again.
Wow. Would that be 4 and 5 years?
Look, it's like the Kansas City Chiefs. Until he loses, And by the way, should be going for his 5th in a row, in my humble opinion. 6th man. There's a tie. Malik Monk and Alex Caruso are tied. I don't know. Alex Caruso's not going to start, though.
How about Malik Monk?
That would actually be kind of funny. Both Monk and Caruso started, and they're just out of it. But yeah, I get the feeling Malik's going to come off the bench.
I do too. I mean, at this point, we said it last year. Look, Malik said he wanted to start last year. They were trying to keep him. They did keep him. He still has reiterated he would like to start, but he's also said, to his credit, hey, I'm going to do what's best for the team. Mike Brown has thought that's what's best for the team, is to bring him off the bench. He started everyone but Monk when the position was available.
Doesn't it? I find it, I wouldn't say impossible to believe. I just find it really difficult to believe that Malik Monk probably passed up more money, signed 4 years, $78 million. Such a coup for the Kings. And at some point during the conversation and the negotiation, I want to start didn't come up.
Yeah.
And the fact that he signed, if it did come up, tells me he was told he could start. And it's not like a new guy. Like, you would never do that with a new guy. I mean, unless it was like Durant or Curry or something, whatever. I just find it weird to believe that he was like, I'll sign. And, hey, I want to start, but whatever. I'm going to commit the next 4 years of my, literally the bulk of the remainder of his prime has now been committed to the Sacramento Kings. And you can ask for trades and all that. I get it. But, and that wasn't broached.
I don't know. I could be wrong. Obviously, it wasn't in these conversations, but I believe Malik might have said it kind of in that way. Like, yeah, I would like to start, but look, his gesture in a sense is being a team guy.
But he was a team guy the last 2 years.
Right. But I still think I think that might be who he is. In a sense where, like, if we really believe he could have gotten $100 million, well, he's already being a team guy by agreeing to 4 and 78. He took I don't like the word discount, hometown discount, but that's kind of the theory here, right? And so, I don't know, doesn't it land differently? I think it's still how you look and appear and image is like, hey, look, I would like to start. That's the competitor. That's who I think I'm the team's best player, but I'm going to do what's best for the team. Like, I think that would be a good way to do it. And if you're saying that, I think the organization knows he wants to start. But
the only problem I have with that, Jason, is probably the most famous example of a 6th man that could have started is Manu Ginobili.
Correct.
You could throw Jamal Crawford in there, but really it's Ginobili. But the thing with Manu Ginobili by the way, I don't know how much he did or didn't push to start ever, but if he did, the one thing Pop could always say to him is, we're winning championships. Mm-hmm. Do you really want to screw with it? Whereas Malik could say, yeah, I get it's what I want to do what's best for the team. You know what's best for the team? Me starting. You know what didn't happen last year? Yeah. I didn't start. We didn't make the playoffs. Right. So it's not like we're out here winning titles. I want to start. And I don't – look, I think it can be overplayed because we all like Disney movies, but I don't think we should underplay either the idea that he and Fox want to share the backcourt.
Yeah, which they do, some, a decent amount. Would this ever, you think, enter Malik's mind as far as like something like this? He is the favorite to win the 6th man of the year.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if he started and won any other kind of award. Not that
that's true.
I don't know that he wanted to win 6th man once he was in that spot.
Sure.
And I think he should have. I thought Naz Reid should not have, but whatever. You think there's any weight to that?
Maybe some residual. I got screwed last year. I want to win it this year, and I'm certainly not doing – I don't know, because Malik Monk winning 6th man of the year is not what's best for the team. I don't know that it's bad. What I'm saying is the award doesn't make a difference.
That's actually interesting. So if he has a great year as a 6th man and wins that, the byproduct would likely be he wins the award.
Sure.
But if he has a great year as a starter, you're saying that's better for the team? I don't know the answer. You hope whoever you start, if he's the sixth man, you hope whoever you start is good. Like the year Herter was pretty good. He had a rough ending to that year, but Malik was really good, and Herter started. And whether it's Herter or Ellis or Lyles, like your suggestion, whatever, as long as Malik is great and that other starter is good, I don't think that's bad for the team.
The only thing I'm considering right now is Malik Monk having a great year as a starter, Malik Monk having a great year as a sixth man. His great year against the other team's competition is probably more important than his great year. It would. Okay, let me put this the right way. Malik Monk having a great year as a starter, I think, is more difficult to replicate with another player than Malik Monk having a great year as a reserve, because you're going against reserves. I feel like the barrier to entry is less as a reserve.
You know what's be interesting too? I don't know the answer to this, but how many minutes he does play against a reserve? Like generally, probably the first time he comes in.
Yeah.
But I mean, he finishes the game all the time. I think the only issue I have with him coming off the bench, the one issue I do, is I just think when you start, inherently you play more minutes. Yes. And I think he needs to play more minutes. So I've always said this, I don't care who starts, but Malik needs to play more minutes. So I think just by in nature, if he started, he's going to play on average 2 to 3 more minutes a game. And I think that's important.
I think you're right. And I think you're 100% right. I've also kind of come around, Jason, on, because I've said this for years, you've said it, and coaches have said it. It doesn't matter how you start, it matters how you finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's kind of, I've kind of come around that's kind of doogie, and I'll explain why. It does matter how you start.
True.
Because how you start puts you in position for how you finish.
Well, and the finish could be irrelevant if you get off to a great start all the time.
That's exactly right. Or how many times last year, this is my biggest argument. How many times last year did we watch the Sacramento Kings get kicked in the berries for 30 minutes a game and just get trucked? And then magically they eat the special Mario mushroom or Mario star, and next thing you know, they can't miss. It's insane. How many times were we like, I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe? That's what I would literally call them on social media. These are banana in the tailpipe games. And it would piss me off because I'm sitting there in the fourth and, they're down 24 and they all look drunk. And then slowly but surely, they cut it to 15. They can cut it to single digits with 1.5 left. And I start seeing people like, it could happen. What was it? Was it the Celtics game that we almost won? Was that one of those examples? I'm trying to think of. They were getting the hell kicked out of them in Boston. And
that might have been.
Was there a missed shot at the end? Was it the Keegan shot, right? Anyways.
Or didn't hang onto the rebound or something.
Yeah, he didn't hang onto the rebound, and I think he also missed the putback, and he had more time on the clock. That's what it was. That was one of those we got drawn back in, and it's like if you hadn't been in there's no way you read a pamphlet during the break between the third and fourth quarter, and this is how you play basketball, and that didn't happen. You just woke up. So I'm not saying it would be this way, but to the philosophy of it's not how you start, it's how you finish. The finish is predicated by the start and the rest of the game.
Right.
So logically speaking, if Malik Monk started and it was successful, that's better to me than who finishes.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Coach of the year. Tom Thibodeau leads in votes. That makes a little bit of sense. Although also, I don't know. A lot of times I feel like coach of the year generally goes to the coach that seemingly has done the biggest turnaround or the most with the least. And so the Knicks are loaded.
Right. And they were good last year. So, I mean, how does he, unless they just become the 1 seed and win 65 games or something like that.
Yeah, 100%. By the way, Jason, De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis, no surprise, led the team in minutes.
Yeah, wasn't Barnes third?
Murray was third.
Okay, then Barnes. That was my issue in the sense, like, Barnes is fine, but like Monk should not have been fifth in minutes.
No, he was. Yeah, Monk was fifth in minutes. Yeah. He was 1.6 minutes a game ahead of Kevin Huerter. So Monk actually played more minutes, but I don't know how much the injury had to do with that. Mm-hmm. Well, no, because it's per game. I guess, so it didn't have anything to do with it. Interesting. We'll take a break. When we come back, remember that song? All the best QBs are in the See,
I do.
throw the football. Remember that?
I do.
Well, that's happening.
Oh, okay.
Right now, all the best QBs are in the AFC, Jason.